There's a trend on YouTube right now, probably in your recommended list, that says something like this. It took me 40 plus years to realize what I'll tell you in 15 minutes. It's impossible to share 40 plus years of life experience in just 15 minutes. If you can do that, then your life has been pretty dull. So I'm here today to tell you that that is a load of bull. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you could genuinely cram 40 plus years of life experience into just 15 minutes, everybody would be walking around this planet like some kind of enlightened super being. But we're not. We're all still fumbling around, trying to work out why we walked into a room, debating whether pineapple should go on a pizza or not, and pretending that we all understand tax codes. So let me talk to you about how life experience isn't like a speed run that you can go through trying to watch a YouTube video on how to fix a leaky tap. So I have a 5-point list for you here, and I'm going to go through each point individually, highlighting the reasons why you can't condense 40 years of life experience into 15 short, silly minutes on a YouTube video. Number 1, life experience is lived, not summarized. Wisdom isn't a TED Talk. It's a long, messy, and often ridiculous journey of trial and error. You can't shortcut it any more than you can skip the awkward teenage years, or avoid the moment when you realise your knees make a noise when you stand up. Aristotle said we are what we repeatedly do, which means wisdom isn't just about knowing things, it's about doing things, about acting them out in real time, failing at those things, and then learning the hard way how to correct it so it doesn't happen again. Now let me put it this way. Imagine learning to swim from watching a 15-minute video. Now you can watch all the technique breakdown videos in the world, but the moment you hit the water, you're still going to flail around like a toddler on roller skates. Because some things you have to experience firsthand to understand. And that brings me to point number 2. Life lessons are contextual. One person's biggest life lesson might be to make sure that they've always muted themselves when they're on a Zoom call so they don't say anything inappropriate on camera. Where another person might be to never eat sushi at a petrol station. Do you get where I'm coming from here? Life lessons come at different times for different people, and they don't always make sense out of context. That's why trying to summarize all of life into a neat, digestible, short 15-minute video is like trying to explain love using only bullet points. It doesn't work. Dr. Seuss said it best. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Note how he didn't say you can watch a 15-minute YouTube video and have it all figured out. And that brings me on to my number 3 point. If 15 minutes was enough, we'd all be sorted by now. Let's be honest, if somebody could distill all of life's wisdom into 15 minutes, then we wouldn't need endless self-help books, philosophers, therapists, self-help groups, or the deep, reflective wisdom of your local pub at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night. But we do, because life is messy. And I don't mean the Argentinian football player there. I mean it's rough around the edges, it's scrumpled up, it doesn't run smooth. It's a chaotic mess at times. We make mistakes, forget what we learned, we make the same mistake again, we don't learn. And sometimes we have to learn those mistakes the hard way. That's part of the human experience. That's what we live for, to make those mistakes and grow from them. This is not something that you can learn in a chunk-sized paragraph from a YouTube creator telling you their life wisdom in 15 minutes. But let's not forget that some of the best wisdom comes from the absurdity of life itself, living it, experiencing it, breathing it every single day. Like realizing that no matter how many times you check that packed suitcase, you are always going to forget something for your trip. It's inevitable. Or that person on a roundabout who doesn't indicate is also the person who thinks they've got their life all figured out. Number 4, the illusion of the shortcut. The appeal of these wisdom in 15-minute videos is, to be honest, it's understandable. I get it as well. We live in an age of instant gratification, fast food, fast shipping, fast entertainment, everything instantaneous, no waiting. I guess we want wisdom the same way we want our Amazon parcels delivered to our front doorstep in less than 24 hours. But life doesn't work that way. If it was that simple, as I've said earlier, we'd all be walking around like super jacked up Einsteins. You can't binge watch your way to wisdom like it's, I don't know, a Netflix or an Amazon Prime series. It doesn't work that way. You have to actually live it. Make your own mistakes and collect your own wisdom and stories, some of which you'll only appreciate after they've happened. There's an old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. In other words, even if you think you've got this life thing all figured out, you still have to get up, brush your teeth, do the washing up, take the dog for a walk, pick up its poop. And my number 5 point is, what's the alternative? So if I'm saying that wisdom can't be condensed into 15 minutes, just what am I saying here? It's simple. Stop looking for shortcuts and start appreciating the journey. The best wisdom isn't something that you passively consume. It's something that you go out and actively create and seek. That means embracing the process and learning from the mistakes that you will inevitably make. Being okay with not having all the answers and not having it all figured out. And occasionally laughing at yourself when you realise the big life lesson is something that your mum told you when you were 15 years old. So no, I can't give you 40 plus years of wisdom in just 15 minutes. Nobody can, despite their best efforts at otherwise trying to do so. But I can tell you this. Life isn't about collecting a list of neatly packaged lessons from a YouTube video. It's about experiencing, questioning, growing, and above all else, living. And if you really want to be wise and smart, stop looking for somebody else's roadmap and start walking your own path in this life. Just try not to trip over your own shoelaces when you do. But if you do, make sure you tie that knot better next time so you don't trip. Another mistake made and another life lesson learned. Always tie strong shoelace bows. So if you've made it this far, congratulations, because you've just spent several minutes of your life thinking about life in a proper way, with a bit of curiosity and a tad of skepticism. But before you go, let me leave you with this. The next time someone promises to teach you everything you need to know about life in under 15 minutes, ask yourself, would I trust a chef who claims to be able to cook a 5-course meal in the amount of time it takes to microwave a pot noodle? No, I didn't think so. Life isn't meant to be rushed. Wisdom isn't meant to be summarized. And if there is a secret to figuring it all out, then well, maybe, just maybe, it is to keep going and to keep learning and to not take it all too seriously. So if you like this, give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you want, where you'll see more videos like this, and just go out there and live a little. After all, that's the only way to truly get wiser. Oh, and if you do figure out life's secrets, drop me a message. Just don't try to explain it to me in under 15 minutes. Keep wondering, keep wandering, and I'll see you on my next video.